There we are.
And here we are, just outside the castles of Babolat, where King Burky and his little jester Badger like to stroll around, looking at board games that were planted in the years gone by, and seeing which of these are still standing in the woods of Evergreen.
Oh boy.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Woods of Evergreen.
Hey, it's Burky, and it's Badger, and it's 2022.
Happy New Year.
Woohoo! Happy New Year, everybody.
Hope things are going well for you as they are for us. Yay!
Yay, we hope so. I'm sure we're going to have some people in the chat today because we have announced that we are going to announce all of the winners of the Christmas giveaway.
Yes, we are indeed.
And wait for it. I never know how long you're supposed to wait for it when you do that, though.
Oh, wait.
Because if you wait too long, then it's not funny. If you wait too short, it's not funny. If you wait the right amount of time, it's funny. So wait for it. That's the right amount of time. We're going to announce the Game Topper Grand Prize giveaway from our last Kickstarter, which is a deluxe sculpted Sherlock Holmes model, sculpted Viking topper from the Viking rails that we had Dogmite Games do, and a Dogmite Games DM screen and dice sheath. I mean, it's a full package. It's like a $2,200 value. But if you actually won the package, we'll also work with you to give you a credit for about $1,200 on your Game Topper package purchases, future purchases, that type of thing. Anyway, we're going to announce all that stuff. So super excited about that. And we've got some people in the chat already.
Rick Ortloff, welcome to the castle. And Kozak, good evening.
Hello. Hello. He says, hello. Sounds like a sheep. Hello.
Yes, it needs shaving your beard.
Trade your sheep for wood.
I'll give you a wood for
2
fire.
I need brick. Here. I need brick.
Yeah. So,
well, this is our Woods of Evergreen episode. And what do we do normally on this Woods of Evergreen show there, Sir Badger?
Okay, yeah, we basically reminisce about games which came out in this year, and in particular this year, which we're doing on the show is 2018. And we're going to reminisce about those games that we still love to play that we think we're probably going to play in another 10 years' time, even though it's not 10 years since 2018, but it's been feels like it.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're just going to count down 3 games each from what we've been playing recently from that year, and then hopefully maybe in a future podcast we'll come back to this year and do another Woods of Evergreen and say 3 different games and probably just say, yeah, we're still playing that as well, or not playing that, which we mentioned last time.
We essentially think these are evergreen type of titles, at least as far as we're concerned. Yeah. And what's amazing about every time we do this segment, we try to do this segment once a month. Man, you look at all the games that come out every year. Sometimes I didn't check the number of games that came out in 2018. Did you check that?
I can do,
but he's going to check it now. Fact check it right now. So what happens is there's so many games. There's no way that we could just say 3 of them. So we're going to be able to do this cycle and roundabout, because I could have probably picked easily 10 games that I felt were really strong titles from 2018. And we're going to probably go up to 2020 and then shift gears and go back to 2000 once we turn the century mark there or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it says there's 50 pages, and normally on BGG, each page is 100 games. So normally.
So 50 times 100 is 50
Yeah.
So 5,000 games, seriously?
Yeah, but a lot of it's expansions and promo cards as well. So you might find that, one game had like 3 promo cards and expansions, so it'll have 4
True.
entries. So, and again, there's games here which you probably never even heard of, or games that were announced but never actually saw the light of day. That kind of happens as well. These, someone produces a prototype, they take it to a publisher, and then they say, yeah, we're going to publish this, and then the publishing company folds, or the designer says, no, I don't, this game is rubbish, it doesn't work, it's broken, I can't publish it now. So there's all these different things to take into account.
So we could probably say that I think a good estimate in the past has been, I don't know how this year was, but probably about 3,500 brand new games made it to market. Would you say that's fair?
No, but
no.
I don't know anything.
1,000 games. 2,000. Would you go 3,000? I'll go 4, 35, 36. 100. Would you go? Yep.
Yep. Cheese sandwich, please.
Well, we're going to get into that. See, Oscar's in the castle. Welcome, Oscar. We're going to get into three of our games that we think stand the test of time in a few seconds. But first, right before Christmas, we did a full Burky and Badger Board Game Babble episode where we went through our typical format and the longer podcast than this one is. And we announced that we were going to be doing a giveaway from our sponsors, Arcane Wonders and Game Toppers. And then I also had some extra games that were given to me from Indie Boards and Cards. And so we wanted to just bless people with that over Christmas. And so we asked people to email us with what they like best about the Burky and Badger show. And we had 46 entries. Woohoo! I thought that was pretty cool because you had to actually listen to the show either live on YouTube, which we don't get as many listeners listening to the show live, but this gets converted into a professional audio edit that goes to iTunes, and we have a lot more people that listen to it there. And so sometimes it takes you a while to catch up on all these podcasts and stuff like that. So if you missed the giveaway, sorry, we'll probably do other giveaways in the future, but we're going to announce the winners of this great giveaway. Ooh. And I think we might as well just jump right into it. What do you say?
Yes, this was the giveaway. These
there it is.
Wonderful games.
Excuse me. Yeah, keep that picture up.
Okay.
All right. So you see that game on the far left from our sponsor, Arcane Wonders. So they got such awesome games out there. This is the Richard Launius game called Dragon Scales, all redone artwork, brand new in shrink. And the winner of, you got a drum roll thing?
I've got drums over there.
That's like pretty good digital sound. Yeah. Okay. The winner of Dragon Scales being mailed to you at no charge, Aaron Woodland. Yay. Aaron Woodland. Congratulations. Yay. Oh, you're going to have all kinds of fun with sound effects. I need to give you pause spaces, don't I?
No.
The winner of the hit game Four Gardens from Arcane Wonders, Rob Raridan.
Yay!
Yay, Rob. All right, way to go. The winner of the game Volcanic Island from Arcane Wonders, right in the center there. Mm-hmm. Arcane Wonders made Volcanic Island, and the winner is Michael Klasko.
Congratulations.
I see we've got Tim Douglas and Chris Wetpan from Board Games All Night fame is with us. Welcome, everybody. Okay. Then we've got 2 small games that we're going to give away to one lucky winner. And the first 2 games are Shogunate and Finger Guns, those 2 on the right from Indie Boards. And the winner is Dustin Powers. Dustin Powers.
Sorry to laugh. It just took me by surprise. I'm expecting Ivy Wiener next or something like that. But yeah, congratulations, Dustin.
Yeah,
Groovy.
that's
Groovy, baby.
Simpsons reference. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so don't. Okay, Conflicting Legends and Among Thieves. Guess that he's in the castle. Tim Douglas is the winner of Conflicting Legends and Among Thieves. Congratulations, Tim. And then the $100 Game Topper gift certificate. This is good at our shop.gametoppersllc.com. That's shop.gametoppersllc.com. The winner is Jamie Rowley. Jamie Rowley.
Congratulations.
All right. Now we're going to move to the next thing. And this is from our Game Toppers Kickstarter. We had 163,000 entries. Quite a deal.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to get up to 13 entries by going in and doing a bunch of different things. So that really is broke down to much less than that, but about 10,000 entries, is essentially what it was. And we had 2 really special giveaways. And the first one we're going to announce, this was our JJ Burkton mat rack. This allows you to store your mats really nicely. There's 4 holes. And this is a powder-coated MDF. And this particular one is the giveaway for this. You get 4 mats of your choice and the JJ Burkton mat rack. This is over a $600 value. And the winner of this is Andrew Scarlaletti. Congratulations.
Well done.
Now, I believe Andrew is actually a backer, if I remember the name right. And we can also work out a credit if you'd prefer to do that rather than that merchandise. But that's what the giveaway was for. Then we also have the home sculpted topper package. This is a huge topper package with the Dogmite DM screen and dice sheath, a pair of dice towers, full cup holders, storage bags. I mean, this was a big deal. These were limited edition. We only made 40 of these, and each one of them is hand signed by myself underneath the topper. I actually installed all of the wood, these beautiful wood strips from Dogmite Games. Been fantastic people to work with. And the winner of the home sculpted topper is Molly McKee.
Congratulations. Wow. That's a lot of winners.
That's a lot of winners, and that's some big time stuff. I'm going to reach out to everybody with a confirming email. We will also post it on our Game Topper Nation website. Kevin Burkardsmeyer has been subject to my Facebook account being hacked. This happened on December 27th. People were trying to get into it. I'm super frustrated about it. We've tried to get the account restored and have yet to be able to do it. We're getting no response from Facebook. We've tried to send reports, did everything I know how to do, but I can't access my Game Topper page, business page, or the Board Game Theater page. I'm not sure what's going to happen with all of it. So the Board Game or the Game Topper Nation Facebook group is still live and operational, and the Burky and Badger Board Game Babble page is still operational. So we'll at least be able to announce these things there, and hopefully we'll get the other thing rectified. But congratulations, everybody, for contributing to the contest, and sorry for those of you that didn't win, and great congratulations for all of those that did. And with that, we are going to move right on into our top 3 picks of the Woods of Evergreen from 2018.
Yeah.
So we got Dan Smith is in the castle, and Jesse Shaky is in the castle.
Enchanté.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Right. Taking it away.
Take it away.
Taking it away. One of the games that I got, 2018, it's been played quite a lot recently. When I got it in 2018, it wasn't played it wasn't played at all. Let's just say that. But recently, in the past 4 months, this game has hit the table a lot because I've had kind of new gaming group form. After Cannes, I met someone that knows my wife who lives locally, and him and his brother are big gamers, and so they've been around a lot, and they've been asking to play this upside down game, which was a Kickstarter game called Star Realms Frontiers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is a full player deck builder game. It's like a kind of an upgrade from the basic game, but then again, the basic game could be played 4 players as well. And in it, you're very, very simply playing all the cards from your hand. They'll either give you currency or they give you attack points to attack another player. And each player will have X amount of points each. And you're trying to whittle them all down and knock them out and win the game and be the last man standing. But there's like 4 different types of ships that you can buy with your money, and some of them let you draw cards, some of them let you discard cards, some of them give you extra life points, and some of them give you a lot of attack points to knock other people down. And so you kind of combo these cards as you're playing, and we've been playing it and just having a good old laugh. Again, this could be played cooperatively. There are some like villains in the game, these big cards which have like automatic powers, so you'll play your turn and then they will do something. They will have an effect on the game, and then the next player plays their turn. And so you can like all team up against like an AI, so to speak. But this game, I hadn't played it much since I got it. And again, I didn't play it much. You sent me like the first original copy of Star Realms many moons ago.
Right.
And that got played about once or twice. But this, combined with that, has been getting a lot of love. It's really kind of very easy to jump into. There's so much variety in the different ships, but this one does +1 coin, this one does +2 coin, this one does +2 coin, does 1 attack, this one does, so you got all those different things. And it's just like fun. You bash each other over the head with a mallet, kind of slapstick style. So it's one of those kind of games, but
there's really a lot of back of that, and you can end up taking people's cards from their deck, where they only get to draw 3 instead of 5, or depending on what you're doing. I haven't played Frontiers actually, so that's kind of interesting because you can do the 4-player. I've done the 4-player of the other version from them. What's the name of that game? It's a fantasy setting.
The Hero Realms.
Yeah. And I didn't like the 4-player version of it at all.
Okay.
But I like the 2-player version a lot.
Yeah, it does kind of feel strange as a 4-player version. Works better as a 2. But as a 4-player, you just don't know who to hit. You could just like put all your damage onto one player, or you can, like what we do is we distribute it. So you get 2, you get 2, and you get 2. And then we just all whittle each other away.
Now, can you play that standalone without the original Star Realms game?
You can, or you can just mix it all in. It doesn't. It's not any different. It's just more.
Same factions, or they're new factions?
There is some cards which are mixed factions, so they're like part blob and part the scavengers, or part the Imperials and the other guys. So there are some cards that do that. It's got some different events which can be mixed in, and it also came with some heroes as well. So those heroes do things, and then of course there's the bases, the outposts, and as I said, there's these big cards, bosses that you can fight as well. So they give you rules of what you do on their turn, and you just got to whittle them down before they whittle you down. So
I love Star Treks. I have the Star Realms. I have the I love Star Trek.
That's what it should be. It should be Ferengi, Vulcans.
Yeah, there you go. Well, this has a lot of nostalgia for both of us too, even in the board game hobby, because when we first started, before I was doing Game Toppers and all of those kind of things, I think right about when we started the Burky and Badger Board Game Babble Show, we launched the Board Game Theater YouTube channel where we dressed up in costumes and actually played the game. And you did this brilliant video of this entire episode where you were the blog and you did the mouth over on the blog cards, actually having the art assets and the mouth would move. It was kind of like that old David Letterman bit, and it was so hilarious. You can still go and see that at boardgametheater.com on our YouTube channel or the website. But those were a lot of good memories, a lot of fun with that game. And I love it on the iPad also.
Yeah, true.
Well, my game, this is a game that I actually, I purposely omitted any expansions. I think if you can play Frontiers, that's separately. Kabuki Kid's here. Hey. We just announced all the winners, and I was sure that Kabuki Kid would probably win, but we had 46 entries, and you just didn't make it. So, but anyway, I purposely omitted any expansions. And because I almost selected the role player Monster and Minions expansion, because I just absolutely love role player from Thunderworks Games, and Monsters and Minions, in my opinion, just took it up another notch. I love playing it with that version. I haven't gotten the new adventures yet, but I love Monsters and Minions. So anyway, that's just an honorable mention. But one of the games I want to talk about is a game that actually won the Spiel des Jahres that year. And I just love this game. It's so simple, and yet it's so interesting. And it's called The Mind.
Oh, yay!
And I mean, you're looking at people across the table and you can't say anything, but you've got these cards that go up to 99 and you're trying to get your partner to play a card that's in between the numbers, but you can't say anything. So it's like just intuition and bluffing and trying to find where that fits and trying to get through. Is it seven missions?
It's something like that, yeah.
I think that's what it is. You start out with one card and then you get 2 cards and then 3 cards and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. It's so simple. And yet when I first got this game, I was just like, this is the best. We had so many laughable, fun moments. And if you don't play with the right people that get frustrated with not perfect information or whatever, that's the only downside to it. But it's simple, it's quick to teach, and after you've played one game, it seems like everyone always says, let's do it again. So I love it. The Mind. I remember when you went to your first lesson, you came back here and we played it, both our families together, and it was an instant I must buy that game for me. Just simple idea of you just got to play your card when you think it's your turn to play your card, and as you said, you got to play them sequentially from 1 to 99, and you're not allowed to communicate, but there are things that you will communicate accidentally. Then maybe the speed at which you're playing the card is maybe preempting it. Maybe someone's got a 22 before I play my 23. No, 23's down. Yeah,
But,
and you can't really say no, don't play that, but you kind of give them that look or
yeah.
Yeah, it's too fun.
And then the naughty words come out. You shouldn't have played that card. Yeah. And then you laugh, and then you play some more, and
Yep.
you try and beat your last score and try and keep all your lives, because you have like 3 lives at the beginning of the game, and each round they will
Yeah, and
either
you
give
can
you an
play
extra
that.
life.
You play that scarab, is it?
Yeah, or it will give you the scarab, which will then just let you, if you muck up, it'll let you skip that muck up. So yeah, very good game.
Yeah.
Very close to what I was going to say as well. But these games I've been playing a lot more.
Yeah.
My
All right.
second
What's your
game
second one then?
is this game, Railroad Inc. from Horrible Guild.
Oh, really?
This is the blue edition. This is the red edition. It's a roll and write, and I don't like roll and writes, but this game doesn't feel like a roll and write, because normally a roll and write to me feels like you're playing bingo with some dice. You roll the dice, you look at the results, and you click off a box. Whereas this, you're creating railway lines and roads, and then these stations where railway lines and roads meet each other, and you're trying to connect as many junctions as possible without leaving any errors. And it's as simple as that. It does come with 2 different expansions inside, so you can roll an extra 2 dice, and they do different things. Like with the red one, you have I can't remember, the meteorite dice, which will destroy a square that you've been playing in. Whereas with the blue ones, you have the lake, so you're trying to create a lake without keeping it sealed as well. So like each dice has the design that you're supposed to design into a square, so to speak. It'd be easier if I put it up on the screen, but anyway. But I love this game. And you talk about expansions. The expansions came out last year, and you have the luscious green edition and the gorgeous yellow edition, which are a bit more challenging and a lot more fun, because their boards are slightly different. They have these special spaces, and they have these new objectives. And again, they both have 2 expansions in them, which gives you a lot of replayability. And you can mix, like, I think 2 expansions together. So if you think you've got 8 expansions now, 8, and then you combine 2 of each with each other. Yeah. And then they bring out a bucket load more of expansions, extra dice, which just make this game infinitely replayable. Solo, mainly for me, but even with friends, it's simple to teach. Apart from a slight problem with the scoring of how many routes connect to each other, but apart from that, it's just knockout fun. Again, there's the app version, which I have on my PC, which I play from time to time when I think I'm sipping a cup of tea or something. But it's just such an enjoyable construction game. You roll some dice, whatever the results are, you have to draw those onto your map and create routes and to get points. Simple as that, but it's just such a nice little mind-bending thing. It works for me all the time.
Yeah, I hear really good things about that. Who distributes that in the United States? I forget. I don't. It's not Horrible Guild, is it?
Yes, it should be Horrible Guild, but they might have an American distributor. So go check out their site.
Awesome. Well, my second game is a game that we talked about recently on the Burky and Badger board game Babble, but I just love this game. And this is from a company called Alderatic Entertainment Group, AEG. And I could have picked several games. I chose to break it up instead of just doing AEG games, but 2018 was a big hit year for AEG. I love their games. AEG came out with the game Space. Now they have expansions to Space. And you're basically, you have your dice rolling, and you've got from 1 to 12. And based on, it's kind of deck building in a sense, because you're trying to upgrade those numbers so that you can get more energy or you can get more gold, or to buy more upgraded cards, or to eventually get your victory points, your little rockets. And when you upgrade these cards, these new cards give you special abilities. You might be able to use the card to the right or use the card to the left, or it might give you extra abilities to gain extra charges so that you can do other special abilities. There's 3 piles of cards for upgrades, the 1 pile deck, the 2, and the 3. And they all cost more, but they give you increasing benefits. This game is just so much fun, and it's got a little bit of that Catan feel in a sense. Your 8s are the most commonly rolled, but then you've got the 7 and the 9 and the 6 and the 5, and you're trying to get those combos. But when you roll the dice, you have 2 dice. You can, if you say you rolled a 1 and a 5, you could actually get the resource from the 1 and the 5, or the resource from the 6. Which is so cool, because you can try to build up your 1s, because it's pretty common to roll a 1 every now and then. But like getting a 12 is kind of difficult. Getting 2 1s is kind of difficult. But then there's some special cards there that if you get like 5 12s, you win the game. But the probability is really difficult. But there's other cards you can upgrade that allows you to move one of your cubes over to that card to increase, so you can do those combos that make you feel clever. And I just love this game. It's super easy to teach, and yet it's always fun, and it's always engaging, and it has that random access. So if you don't like random things with dice, like that happens with Catan where you're rolling for resources, that's what this is. And yet you can kind of mitigate it by smart play of purchasing drafting of these cards. You get 6 of each level out there, and I tell you, every time I've played it with every group that I've played it with, we've always had a lot of fun and really enjoy it.
Yeah. It's that kind of medieval feeling. But when you described it, I was thinking of Can't Stop for some reason. But it is like the calculation of this 7 is the most
kind of
number.
From that standpoint, it's the probability, but it's less push your luck, and it's more trying to get an even grouping of different numbers upgrading, so that when that number hits, you get a little bit more. So it probably gives a little bit of that gambling excitement feel of, oh, come on, Snake Eye, mama needs a new shoe.
Yeah. I love that with Miniville, when you buy all the buildings that are 8, and then you just hope that you're going to roll 8 all the time. And then you don't. You're on a 6, you're on a 4.
Well, I think Space Base is going to be around for a while, and I really love it. And it has an expansion now called the Pluto expansion that kind of gives a legacy type of campaign feel, I guess. We didn't get to play that yet, but I really want to try that. Kabuki Kid just chimed in there too and said Space Base is a favorite of mine as well. I just think it's super fun. So Space Base from Alderatic Entertainment Group, AEG, putting out a great game in 2018. What's your third game?
My third game is the Kickstarter. It's Kickstarter again for some strange reason. Is the infamous Chronicles of Crime.
Wow.
It'd be a crime not to mention this game, but anyway, Chronicles of Crime is a detective game where players are cooperatively trying to figure out a crime. It could be anything. It could be a missing dog, or it could be a murder. And basically, it's done through an app. So most of the storytelling is done through an app. You have characters that you meet. You have locations to go to. And these are all on cards, which you'll scan with the app, with the QR code, and they will tell you things. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure in a way, but it's a plot that involves. They're never too heavy that you won't understand. They feel very much like a TV show, cop show, where the guilty party will always like say, "Oh, I didn't know that," kind of thing. They make those little stuttery blunders. or there'd be obvious things like, oh, he's sleeping with her, and then it's like, now we know why they did that in the closet with the crowbar and Mr. Hanky. But anyway, this is a fantastic cooperative game. You can play with a large group of. We've played with 5, and it's quite fun hearing everybody's ideas of what they think that means, what someone said, or what that doing there at that particular time is said. And it's a race against time to try and get, figure out the crime. Bummers about it is sometimes when you know what the answer is, and you go to the report it and say that, okay, it was Mr. Mustard in the library. It'll ask you a question saying, okay, then who did the murder? But then it'll ask you a weird question, and if you haven't encountered that character, if it'll say like, what was Mr. Hanky's role in all this? And then you haven't met Mr. Hanky, you can't answer, and so you kind of feel a bit about that. But apart from that, it's just fun. And again, there are bucket loads of expansions now, so you're not going to be stuck with the same scenarios over and over again. And when you do go back to play like the first ones again, you have kind of forgotten quite a bit. And so it's like you're relearning the game as you go along. And even though the faces look familiar, you still can't remember if were they the murderer or not.
So how many versions come with the original game?
I think in the base game there are 5 or 6 stories, and they gradually get harder and harder. So like escape room stories.
Okay,
but then
I've heard so much good about this game, and I've not gotten to play it yet. I don't own it, and I hear it's fantastic.
It is fantastic, but it is very heavily app driven, especially at the beginning, because you're just going around meeting people, finding out what their alibis are, going to locations, finding out what stuff is. You getting to explore 3D worlds, because there's moments where you will have a crime scene to investigate, and one player will take the app and they'll be able to move the app around and look as if they're looking through goggles into a 3D world, and they say everything that they can see. Other players will look through a deck of cards, and they might say, oh, there's liquids, there's a bag, or there's something else. And so you pull up these cards, you scan these cards, and they will tell you if they're a relevant clue or not. And then you start piecing these things together. And this game comes alive about halfway through a story, when players start theorizing what they think happened and who did what and stuff. And then you have these little conflicts every now and again. No, he couldn't have done that because of this. And that again is the fun of the game for me. It's just having these conflicts and but also listening to everybody's ideas of what they think is going on. You can play it solo again. I've been playing a lot with this solo, especially with the new expansion, the 1400 and the 1900 and the 2400. But it's best with a group, and it's good if you have a good group of people that will, narrate with funny voices as well.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
So how many does it play up to when you're playing it?
You can play as many as you want. As many people can get around a table.
We've got lots of comments from the chat. Kabuki Kid said that they started to play Shy Pluto. That's the expansion for Space Base. And that they still haven't finished it. They loved it, but hadn't finished it because of the pandemic. So, yeah, I can totally get on board with that. Mm-hmm. And she also mentioned that she hasn't played Chronicles of Crime yet. So I know that's a really good one. There's so many great games that keep coming out, right?
Yes.
And Tim Douglas says, I'm looking forward to playing Bad Company. I really like the theme, and here it's a lot like Space Base. Interesting.
Okay.
Yes. Bad Company. I'll check that out. Mm-hmm. Well, my third and final game is a game that there's no hiding how much I love this game. Okay. I think it's my favorite game of 2018 by far. I can't see that we will ever get tired of it. But this is a game from North Star Games called Quacks of Quedlinburg.
Okay.
Quacks of Quedlinburg. Our good friend Kay King made me some special little tokens that you put, little 3D printed tokens that you put the little components in. And this is a bag building game. And so you've got all these different types of things. You're making a brew, basically. And you're going to, it's a push your luck type of game. And these little components, they're all in your bag and you're pulling them out. But you've got these little white components that if you pull them out and you get like more than 7 points, what happens is then you fold, you bust, I mean. And so you're trying to get around this track, but you've got these little rats, they're called, and you can move these rats up by different ways of doing that. That allows you to start at like 3 or 4 instead of starting at 1. All of these different components let you do different things. And so some of them combo where like you can move 2 spaces instead of 1. And then you get to whatever amount that you get to buy more of these components that get thrown into your brew. And by getting some of the level 1, level 2, and level 4, of course, the level 4 are the best. I mean, you can move 4 spaces, and sometimes they let you clone an ability, or, I mean, there's all kinds of combos with all these different ingredients. They came out with a new expansion called the Herb Witches, which added more of them. There's some that allow you to get extra points depending on what your opponents do. It's just one of these push your luck. You can't wait to play this game because you want to pull out of the bag and you want to see how far you can get. What's really cool about it is with the Herb Witches expansion, you can play up to 5 players. And everybody is simultaneously basically doing this. And it can, it's a Spiel des Jahres. Was it a nomination or the winner? No, it was the nomination.
Yeah.
Oh, for the Kennerspiel.
It won the Kennerspiel.
It won the Kennerspiel, which is huge, right?
Yeah.
And you can play up to 5 players, and everybody is simultaneously doing so. The downtime is really low. Every time we play this game, everybody is so excited, and we just can't wait to do it. And you're trying to get to the top of that track, and just super, super fun game. That wasn't a great explanation, but you can kind of see the different components, and everybody is pulling these from their bag and trying to see how far they can combo their little ingredients to allow them to move up higher on the track.
Wow. It is a good game. Played it once and enjoyed it, but I haven't gone back to it. So maybe something for the future for me.
Do you own it?
No, I don't. No. My colleague that I work with, who's in Germany, has just bought it and played it with his wife, who's a non-gamer, and she enjoyed it. So there you go. It's simple enough for non-gamers to get an easy grasp of as well.
Yeah, a lot of people are chiming in here about the game, and they're talking about the bags. Kay King made us some special bags, so they're really cool and just make it a little easier to grab the components out of. And having those little custom, I don't know what you call them, the little custom holders for each of the ingredients. They all feel the same. So when you're pulling them out, you don't know what you're pulling out, but it just makes them a little chunkier. And I think Board Game Geek actually sells a fully upgraded acrylic type of component. They're a little spendy, but pretty cool also.
Yeah. Their Board Game Geek store, they do the upgraded components. Yeah.
Well, I love Quacks of Quedlinburg from North Star Games. I think it's another company in Europe. Is it Spieltag or Spieltag? Schmidtspiel. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Well, there's our games. I've selected honorable mention, Role Player, Monsters and Minions expansion, but I selected The Mind, Space Base, and Quacks of Quedlinburg that I think stand the test of time. How about you, Barry?
Yeah, mine were Railroad Inc., Star Realms Frontiers, and Chronicles of Crime, which have stood the test of time. And I would agree with your three choices, no problems there. Some of them were on my list.
Well, there's so many games in 2018, and when you look through the ratings on Board Game Geek too, I'm sure there are other games that would absolutely qualify, but I just haven't played them.
Yeah.
And I think in the last 2 years, maybe 3 years, the amount of games that I played, especially during the pandemic when we weren't getting together very often, and then with Game Toppers blowing up and taking so much of my time, my gaming I just haven't played the amount of games we used to play prior to that.
Yeah,
And
I thought you were going to say Rising Sun is your last game.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Rising Sun, honestly. I love Blood Rage, but Rising Sun just didn't quite do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it a few times. It's beautiful. It's amazing, but I just didn't like some of the movement and mechanism and just didn't seem to get a hold of it very well.
Yeah.
I've got a full Kickstarter version of Ankh sitting on my shelf of shame, waiting to be played. And I'm hoping that doesn't disappoint because that looks really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting lost in this list here. It's just...
Yeah, there's so many games, and I could have mentioned a bunch of them, but when we come back to it, we'll definitely be able to pull out a few more.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
So with that, we want to thank our sponsor, Arcane Wonders and Game Toppers. Go check out arcanewonders.com. You can see all their great games that they've got coming out. They just got their reprint of Land, Air, and Sea in. They also have a new expansion coming out for Onitama, which is super cool. So check that out. And GameToppersLLC.com. You can still late pledge. We are about 90% done with our fulfillment. We're waiting on a container that's been stuck in Tacoma, Washington for 3 weeks in a holding yard because the port was filled. It just drives you up a wall. But we're waiting. As soon as we get that container, it contains a lot of our storage bags and new game mats. And then we'll be finishing off all of our Kickstarter with the exception of our European backers and Australia. So long and short of all that, you can still late pledge. And we're decided to keep the late pledge manager open through the end of the month. Through the end of January, you can still take advantage of the Kickstarter packages, which are amazing deals like the Scotland Yard bundle that has the Watson and a bunch of accessories and mats and storage bags and cup holders and all of that. The Baker Street bundle for the Sherlock Holmes model. And anyway, you can take advantage of all of that. Check it out at GameToppersLLC.com. And with that, I think... we are about ready to close up the show.
We are indeed. Thank you very much for wishing.
For wishing. Yes. Wishing they had won all of the games that we gave away.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, please. I did there?
Yeah, very good. Please let us know what your top 3 2018 games are, the games that you think are evergreens and you're going to constantly play for the next God knows how many years. We'd love to know. Check us out on Board Game Geek, Guild 2248. Don't forget, there's the BoardGameTheatre.com and BoardGamesEverybodyShould.com. And obviously, this is going to be an audio podcast for you to listen to later at your leisure with some really cool sound effects for all those winners that won stuff. Yeah. And some boos and hisses for the presenters who managed to screw things up.
Yeah. Well, give me all the booze. I can take it. Not really. Not really.
So thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Have a good 2022. That sounds so much easier. 2022.
Yeah, it does sound a little later. 2022. And in a couple weeks, we will have another Burky and Badger board game babble show. And we might even have a special guest on the show and do our board game, which it's been a while since we've done that. But we're working out some schedule stuff with Barry and I. And we look forward to having you continue to join. And we wish you all the best. Thank you all so very much.
Yes, take care and see you soon.
We're so glad we had this time together. And now it's time to go. It won't be long until we have another show. So keep us in mind, get online. Burky and Badger will be back in no time.